Hola, estoy de vuelta. Soy Amani y esta noche voy a hablar de mis progresos de español. So, this is kind of just going to be me talking about what's been up with this Spanish language learning journey, what I'm up to, what the plan is going forward, and yeah. So, I'm still learning Spanish, yeah. Recently, I've reached 100 hours of comprehensible input on Dreaming Spanish. And when I say on Dreaming Spanish, it means I'm using the website to track and I'm watching some videos sprinkled in. But most of my comprehensible input at this point is coming from listening to podcasts, some Apple podcasts, and um, listening to my Spanish language learning partner Andres speak when we have our language learning exchanges and reading Spanish through text messages, conversation. Outside of that, I reading, haven't been reading my books in my basket here. Haven't been reading my haven't touched this in like 3 weeks. Started this. I got through some when I had time in the beginning of the year, but as you can see, I haven't finished that at all. Reading is just not a thing. Watching videos is barely a thing because like my energy levels are like at an all-time low between work and school. So with that, my Spanish schedule, when I learned Spanish and even my method, the way that I've been learning has changed just a bit. And while listening has always been the the priority, it's become you know what I mean? And not by choice, but through necessity at this point. Like there's not many opportunities throughout the day to spend the time to be able to sit down and read and sit down and write. Someone is like banging. Maybe they're like nailing something. I don't know. But it's driving me nuts. Wonder if that can be heard on the video. I don't know. But okay. So, yeah. So, I've just been listening to podcasts. In particular, Quentame has been like my BFF. Like, everybody and their mama on YouTube have recommended Quentame. And at 100 hours, I can confidently say that it's very comprehensible for me. I love that. Like, 80% comprehensible. Like, and at that point, I feel like I understand the majority of what is said. So yeah, Quinta like thanks Martha, thanks girl. Like you're helping me out a lot because I don't have time for videos and for listening to things right now. I can't talk. Okay, so yeah, but what's the plan going forward? The plan is to continue learning, to continue listening, and like to work with what I have. You know, at the end of the day, I can't really beat myself up if I'm not reaching those like crazy goals anymore of like getting hours and hours of comprehensible input. It's just not a priority. And even between there, like I still have, I gotta check in on my family. Like I gotta spend time with him. And there are times I've noticed where I'm just like so like I have a goal to make. I need to be learning Spanish. I wanted to be able to all these things I wanted to be able to do at this around this certain time is not really like I have to prioritize the things that are here now, including family and including the people who are in my life. So spending my weekends cooped up listening to like dreaming Spanish videos and watching YouTube videos in Spanish isn't ideal when I have loved ones that I could be like spending time with. So I'm trying to find out that balance of where I can fit in the Spanish. But don't get me wrong, the Spanish is happening every day. It is happening every day. In the mornings on the drive to school, like 30 minutes, driving home about 25, 30 minutes. So I'm getting at least an hour a day of just listening. But I want a little more. And I want to be able to figure out how I can fit that in. And so I've been challenging myself. My challenge was it mi reto? challenge, my challenge is when I'm at home in my space alone, I want to challenge myself to use more Spanish, like self talk when I'm speaking to myself. And when I don't know, to like, you know what, like obviously try. And then after, um, like translate it, like get my translator out and be like, okay, so that's how you say it. And to continue to have those conversations with myself. Because ultimately, like on the days I don't have time, guess who's always here? Me and my me, myself, and I in this crazy brain. So with that, I do have the time to hit practice and to think about how I would say something, or how I would respond to a situation, or how I am thinking and then converting that, or like, yeah, translating that into a Spanish thought. And so that's the plan. The plan is to continue listening to my podcast, to continue having my language exchange once or twice a week, and to begin begin having those conversations and send more text messages, read more text messages, and listen to more. I've been using like conversation through actual friends on WhatsApp, but I've used Hello Talk in the past. I used it a lot before, and due to the time, I've kind of fallen off of it. But I am finding that I am now that I'm growing my Spanish vocabulary and I'm starting to understand the structure of Spanish more and able to conjugate a little better and able to just like know how to form a sentence and use the verbs, then I'm actually able to like text a lot easier now, and it's awesome, and I'm able to like start to read those text messages better. So, yeah, that's the plan. That's the goal. And in those goals, so many goals, so many wants, so many things, so little time. Um, you know, the Spanish videos will come when they come. Part of it, like that is the journey, it's like there's gonna be times where I feel like I'm gonna be like, great, I got 30 hours in a month, like, and there's gonna be times where I'm getting like, mm, 60 hours in a month, like doubling that. I just feel like that's part of the journey, and I can see my progress. I can feel it. It's not where I want it to be, but I can see it. I can feel it, and there are wins to celebrate. And that'll be probably for another video. But yeah, that's the updates. And um, honestly, I'm having this like little talk because I want this talk to be between me and myself, even though I know it's something that I post on YouTube at this point. But I want this conversation to be something that I can look back on more than anything and be like, remember when you were only at 100 hours? Remember when you said that like you didn't have the time to squeeze it in? I remember when you felt for a little bit that you weren't gonna like make this certain progress because you weren't able to give 3 hours a day, and you're felt, all these things that I've thought recently and in the past about the rate that I've been learning. So I can look back at this video and I can be like, girl, you did that. Like you stood the course, and like your journey is your journey, and your journey is not going to look like someone else's journey. And it's like that thing that like we hear it all the time, but like I have to tell myself that. And more than just telling myself that, like I'll easily forget. So it's something that like having a video and able to remind myself that like this is your journey, and yours isn't going to look like the person on YouTube, the polyglot on YouTube. And gifted, talented, I love that for you all. And gifted or talented or not, I don't have that kind of like, I don't have that kind of time. And I probably do have some resources. I have more resources that I could use to learn and uh to integrate Spanish into my life, but like I'm okay with taking things day by day at this point. And yeah, español no es todo, pero claro, quiero continuar a aprender español. But, chao. Until next time, estaré de vuelta y hasta la próxima vez.